Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mel's Corner. I am Mel, and this is my corner. It's been a minute since I've done a video. There's been a lot going on, but I just had to come on here and address. I was just watching Meet the Press, which I try and do every week that I can when I'm not at work. But here's the thought. I was having a thought, and I just felt like I just had to share this. Um, I think that where many of us are making a mistake is we're looking at this particular political environment like it's just regular politics, like it's the Republicans versus the Democrats and then the independents and whoever else is out there that has a different opinion. This is far from that. From what I can see, from what I've observed, this is far from that. First of all, um, the one of the problems with the Democratic Party is they don't even realize what they're involved in. Trump supporters are not political; they are religious. The people that are supporting Trump are believers, and that's the difference between the two groups, essentially, because the Democrats are still playing politics. They're looking at policies, they're talking about what they're going to do, they're trying to convince people this, that, and the other. But when you're dealing with religion, there is no trying to convince someone and trying to, because religion, the nature of religion, it's about belief. It's about belief, it's about faith. And Trump supporters have faith in him. They believe in him. So it doesn't matter what he does. And that's the difference with what Democrats are doing. Democrats are still, talking about issues and positions and policies and what have you. Now, it's dangerous because if there are two different games being played, they're on the board and there are two different games being played, and maybe one team feels like they're playing chess and they feel like the other one's playing checkers. But one thing is for sure, the ones that are playing chess, the Democrats may feel like they're playing chess, and Trump supporters are really simplistic, and they could be correct. But one thing about it, the Trump supporters have all their pieces, and their pieces aren't going anywhere. Whereas, with Democrats, a lot of the key pieces are not even on the board or aren't even in play. And another thing, white supremacy. White supremacy is like a religion. That's not something that you can communicate out of people. It's not something that you can train out of people, that you can talk to people and they'll say, oh, I didn't know. There are people that are not aware of it. There are people that benefit from white supremacy and they are not really conscious of it because it's always just been their reality all of their lives. And it's just been like they leave the house and go to the store and come home. So, yeah, you'll have some people like that. And then when you point it out and say, well, for you, that's a very simple thing, but for other people, it's not that simple. Those people might be, oh, well, shoot. And now, especially when you talk about things like slavery and we just had a whole different people of color had a whole different experience here, and people who are white, not only did they not have that experience, but unless they really had some progressive parents, many of them were not even introduced to that conversation in their homes, definitely not in schools. So they're just not there. But they're not against, they're just ignorant. And now many more people are beginning to see things, and they're beginning to, I'm talking about white people now, they're beginning to see things and be like, well, damn, so that's one group. And when you talk about actual white supremacists, that can't be programmed out of something, that can't be trained. The police that are doing these things and shooting these people for no reason, or because they're not even pretending anymore. They used to try and pretend and say I felt threatened, but now it's just They just do it, and and their supporters support them. They don't support them because they think they're right. They support them because of who they are. And we have to be, as a public, as a community, we have to be very clear about that, because if you're not clear about that, they're going to be standing up there asking for officers to be retrained. Well, they need to be retrained and they need to be taught. When we were little children, I remember when I was a little kid and we'd be in school and somebody did something to somebody, one child hit the other child or something, and then the teacher come along and say, "That's not nice. Now say you're sorry." And then they would force the kids to say, "I'm sorry." They weren't sorry. They weren't sorry they hit you, and you weren't sorry you hit them back. It's just that somebody made you say, "I'm sorry." And that's not a realistic way to look at the world. And you fast forward now to 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, you have a lot of people who are out here hitting people. They know exactly what they're doing. It's intentional. It's not an accident. And to try and act like something that's something we should communicate about. And we should be more open, and we should reach out, and that's BS. This is something else we're dealing with here. And if everybody is not realistic and clear about what we're dealing with here, this is politics with religious over and undertones on steroids. That's what we're dealing with right now. I don't care how many times you tell someone that Yeshua, Jesus, was born in the Middle East. The Middle East actually didn't even exist at the time that he was born. That was part of the continent of Africa and Asia, that whole area. There were no white people in that area. There were no airlines. People didn't just randomly travel the globe like they do now. So you didn't just pop up and find just random people of all races everywhere. So that's where he was born, and that's where he was. You can't convince people that he was not white with blonde hair and blue eyes or whatever like that. And even the people that may accept that in the corner of their mind, but they prefer to just say, "I don't believe he has a race." And it's really not even about race. That's not even the issue. That's not even important. But what is important is facts, and being able just to accept facts. Doesn't matter, whether he was this or that and the other, but it does matter if somebody is in denial about who he was. That is important. And I'm using that example because in this situation with Trump, there's already been truth that has come out that this man he's a pedophile. He's sexually assaulted people. He is a liar. He's got all kinds of weird relationships with his children. He's definitely a special individual at best. But there is a segment of the community that does not care about that. So if you get out there wasting time trying to focus on what's wrong with Trump and this and the other, that's going to work to your disadvantage. Anyone. That's going to work to your disadvantage because everybody already is pretty much aware of enough of what's wrong with Trump. So the people who like him are going to like him regardless. And the people who don't like him already don't like him. So there really needs to be a whole different focus. Exactly what that focus is, we'll see. I'm not that, or even like I'm just looking over here on the TV program and I see Kanye West on there. See all that kind of foolishness. That kind of foolishness right there. People like that popping up and distracting people. There are just all kinds of distractions when it comes to this election. And the bottom line is there really is no choice. It's either Trump is going to continue to be the president or someone else is going to hold that office. And frankly, I would pretty much vote for anyone other than Trump. There are very, very few people that I can think of that are alive today that I would not prefer to have in that office other than him. I would vote for Ernie and Bert before I would vote for Trump, because I know whoever is handling those puppets would probably do better in that office, even if it was just the fact that they would be more able to be controlled by the people around them and advised on making more wiser decisions. So this is just all I wanted to say. Right now, there are religious undertones to this, and I think that people are wasting a lot of time on policy and all that kind of stuff, because that's not the battle. That's not the game the other side is playing. That's not the game the other side is playing. And for people that don't want to vote or whatever like that, it's fine to believe that voting doesn't matter, but somewhere down the line somebody thought it mattered because they created the process. And frankly, devil's advocate here, even if voting doesn't matter, it's not going to hurt you to hedge your bets and just go ahead and try it just in case, especially if you're not doing anything else anyway. Anyway, I gotta go exercise. I gotta go do my laundry. So I just wanted to put that out there. I will be doing another children's video. I hope everyone is okay. Those that are homeschooling your kids, I'm trying to get my material together, and then I will be putting some children's stories up there. Hopefully kids are at home reading, and I'll be able to help that in a minute. So again, thank you for joining me, and I will see you again in Mel's Corner in the not too distant future. Everyone be safe and have a great day.